Hello to all of you. We're so glad you came our way. We hope our time with you will be a blessing and increase your understanding of the Bible. If you would like to donate and help grow this ministry, please check the options below. And folks, we will send you a free copy of our booklet, Training Your Children in the Way They Should Go. Thank you so much. And now let's enjoy some questions and answers from the Bible. Hello. Yes, indeed. We are happy to be with you again from our country chapel, just at the edge of town. We bring you questions and answers from Matthew, the first book of the New Testament. You read ahead, and we will ask the questions excuse me, for your answers. Chapter 12 of Matthew. Number 1. While passing by some grain field, what did the disciples of Jesus do?
Well, they just plucked off some of those heads of grain and ate them.
Yes, have you done anything like that? I have.
Sort of like normal.
What was the response of the Pharisees, the religious guys?
Well, they said, hey, you're not supposed to do that on the Sabbath.
Hey, you're running your combine on Sunday. Ho, ho, ho. What was Jesus' answer?
Well, he said David ate the sacred food in there that only the priests ate.
Yeah, on a special occasion. What did Jesus mean when he said, I desire mercy and not sacrifice?
Well, he'd rather there be more mercy shown than religion.
Yeah.
You know how to take that one.
In their days, it would be all the ceremonials and the sacrifices and what have you. They got so meticulous. They lacked mercy, like the woman taken in adultery. And many other times, here they were grumbling over a few heads of grain. Oh, that was so wrong. But mercy is so right. What claim did Jesus make about the Sabbath?
He said that he was the Lord of the Sabbath.
Yeah, I'm the head of this. I control this. If those disciples need to eat something, it's fine with me. Of course, you can't take that way out of bounds, but I think you understand. Next, Jesus went into the synagogue, and who did he meet there?
He met a man with a withered hand.
Withered hand. Can't you imagine what that looked like? Yeah, we've seen some pictures. What did they ask of Jesus?
Well, now they said, is it lawful to heal on the Sabbath?
You can't eat on the Sabbath certain things. And so can you help a man like this on the Sabbath? Gotta wait till the next day. What was Jesus' answer?
Why, he says, if a sheep falls in the pit, are you going to just leave him there? Can't you take him out on the Sabbath?
Yes, indeed. Did Jesus heal this man's hand on the Sabbath?
Sure he did.
Yeah, why not? Of course, I'm sure Jesus was trying to push and get these people to think a little differently than what they'd been used to. What was the response of the Pharisees?
Well, then they got together and thought, how can we get rid of this guy?
Yeah. Instead of discussing more, or hey, let's wait this one out, or a little more patience, they wanted to destroy. Sounds like some of the things that we experience in America. You know, when Satan controls people's minds, you'll notice that there's always a destructive element that shows up. Violence and destruction. It comes from the same source. And that's I believe that's what Revelation says of Satan. He's called Apollyon, which means destroyer. Yeah. Whenever there's ugliness, I'll say that in one word. Whenever there's some ugliness, you can know that Satan is behind it, because it all takes the same pattern at different times, but same pattern. Next, Jesus departed, and the multitudes followed him. What did he do?
Well, he showed mercy. He healed all of them.
He healed and he healed. Next, Jesus healed a blind, mute, demon-possessed man. And what did the Pharisees say?
Well, now they're accusing him of casting out demons in the name of the power of Beelzebub.
Yeah, the chieftain. What was Jesus' answer to them?
He said, a kingdom, a city, or a house divided against itself cannot stand.
And that's very true. And that statement has come down through history, been quoted off and on through all this time. Even by Abraham Lincoln. How about that? Complete the following. He who is not with me
is against me.
Yeah, that's a principle that will always be true. We always want to be for, with Jesus, no matter what. Not that we get ugly about it, but that we're always kindly and forcefully behind Jesus, beside Jesus, and out in front whenever is needed. You know, somebody has said, and pardon me, if they are kicking you where you sit down, you are always out in front. So, why not be out in front for Jesus? Next, what sin will not be forgiven a person?
Blasphemy, speaking against the Holy Spirit.
Yes. Something that we're to be quite interested in. There's been a lot of talk about this, but I think simply stated that the Holy Spirit, who has written the scriptures and God providentially uses to work in people's lives, I'll say is God's last move for the salvation of man. And when you reject that, where else are you going to go? Where else? What is a tree known by?
Its fruit.
Its fruit. Obviously. You can tell this, the patterns of life that people live, the things they keep doing, whatever it is. A tree is known by what comes out on its branches. Next, did Jesus call these folks vipers?
Sure did.
Yes, he did. I guess we don't go around calling people snakes, but even though you feel like it, you're still going to stand up for truth and not bow a knee. From what does the mouth speak?
From whatever's in the heart.
Whatever's in our heart will eventually come out, especially when you get excited. So be careful. Be careful what you let come in your eyes and in your ears, because it will end up in the seat of your soul, your heart, and come out in your speech. What is said about idle words?
Well, we're going to give an account on Judgment Day about with every idle word.
A lot to think about. There in verse 36, I remember coming across this for the first time. We need to be careful what we treasure up in our hearts and what we speak with our mouth. And let me read verse 36. But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. O Lord. Read a little more of James, book of James. He talks about the tongue that needs to be tamed. Next question will be, will we be justified or condemned by our words?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Just as we read. What did the scribes and Pharisees ask of Jesus?
Oh, they wanted to see a sign.
You know, humans are this way.
He'd already given lots of them.
What sign did Jesus tell them about?
The sign of Jonah.
Sign of Jonah. How'd he get back in the picture? Hey, Jonah. Remember Jonah and the whale? I mean large fish. Yes. What will the people of Nineveh do in regard to this, their generation?
They were condemned because Nineveh repented.
Yeah. Nineveh turned when they heard the message, and people need to turn when they hear the message. What queen will rise up in judgment against their generation?
I think she was the name, the Queen of Sheba.
Queen of Sheba. She traveled a long ways, brought many gifts, and when she got done talking to who? Solomon. She couldn't believe her ears. So this is the wisdom that God gave Solomon, and he'll give it to us too. Maybe not just in the same categories, but when you read the Bible, there is an amount of wisdom that you will gain that nothing else can give to you. So you guard it. It's above all riches, rubies, no matter what. Gain it. Next, we're getting close to the end of this chapter too. What does an evil spirit do here that has been cast out of a person and he finds no place to hang out?
Well, he goes back to where he was cast out.
He goes back to the original. When he finds it empty, what does he do?
Well, he takes 7 others with him and goes back, and so there's more of them.
I don't know why it was 7. Why didn't he just take 3? But boy, he was going to do it up good. Who comes to see Jesus at this time?
His mothers and brothers are coming.
Yeah. You know, they were anxious to know about their brother and son. They had family feelings. When Jesus learned of their presence, what did he say?
He said, well, who's my mother and my brothers?
Isn't that something? Now that's kind of a different way to go about it, but you know, Jesus was here for a bigger, better purpose than most people could ever imagine. And so he stayed on course. That's why he said when he was 12 years old, I'm about my Father's business. So he said, who is my mother and my brother?
Those who do the will of my Father.
Yeah. And that's the important thing for us today too. In this 12th chapter, we have some very interesting things. And we passed over quickly verse 29 and 30, where it talks about a strong man if you're going to capture and conquer a strong man's house, you're going to have to capture him and tie him up first. Then you can go in and spoil his house. And this was Jesus' teaching about what was going to happen in the near future. He was going to enter into Satan's strong house. He was the god of this world. He had conquered everyone because they had yielded to him in obedience to him, just like Adam and Eve did in the beginning. So Jesus came here and entered into his house and was going to bind him, and that's what Jesus did when he died on the cross. He put shackles on Satan. He didn't throw him into hell at that time, but he put shackles on him. And that's why when we appropriate the blood of Christ, are baptized into Christ, and the Holy Spirit comes into our lives, we have those tools that we can escape and overcome the strong man, the devil himself. So stay with truth. Stay with right living. And you will be able to overcome Satan. You will be a true overcomer. So come back again, will you, and learn more of the scriptures. Read ahead a little bit, will you? And we'll be back again next time with the next chapter in Matthew. Matthew is such a good book. So thank you for tuning in and being with us. We'll be back.